do have one question. How do you screen your customers or guests so that you don't run into like the young crowd who's looking to throw a party and destruct your property? Like, how does that go?
Yeah, that's a really good question because that makes a world of difference if you don't. And so I learned through trial and error there. Like I said, one of the things is being real careful about being very transparent about your expectations and your rules and regulations. And you can look at other people who are doing well. You can go on Airbnb, look at people who are doing really well, look at what their rules and regulations are.
Hmm.
But even in doing that, like I curated some rules and regulations. I was at a dinner party one day and a young lady was telling me she had an Airbnb, but her and her husband got out of it because it was going really well, but someone came in and they were filming. She like, her neighbors called like, it's filming crew here and this and that. And she's like, she went and talked to the people like, what are you guys doing? They like, we paid to rent the place. Like we're filming. And she called the police. There was nothing she can do. So her story informed me that you need to put a no filming clause in there.
Oh,
So
what were they
I would have
filming?
never thought to do that. I don't know if they were doing a video or a commercial, whatever it was. It wasn't something that was outright crazy, but it was because you're got filming crew and vans and you're on people's pottery and because she was in a HOA, and so you got
Oh,
all this stuff. But they didn't,
they were shooting a music
they
video or something.
rented the property, but you have to be very clear on like no gatherings, no this, only names of the people that are registered and approved by me are allowed in the space. I have a 25 and older requirement to stay in my place. Like I said, I have a bunch of rules. I very seldom have to execute them because I have really great guests. I really do screen. I look at your previous reviews from other places. I ask questions, but you have to be very careful how you ask the questions so you don't appear that you're discriminating.
Yeah.
But yeah, I want to know. I was like, oh, it's your first time in Chicago? What brings you here? And they were like, oh, I live here. Or they were like, oh, I'm turning 23. Like, and so certain things like that. And I'm always very polite.
Hmm.
And another thing I'll say is for the different platforms, there's Airbnb and VRBO, Verbo. I prefer Airbnb because it allows more screening. Their customer service is excellent and they're very responsive when it comes to the customer and the owner, whereas Verbo doesn't have as many rules. And so the few challenges that I had was through the VRBO Verbo app and not the Airbnb because they have more regulations that help you screen your clients.
So have you ever ran into a situation where they got past your your guidelines and you had to
Yes.
revoke their pass or whatever?
Oh yeah, I had a young lady send a note say she was coming for her grandpa's funeral
Hmm.
because it was 8 people wanted to stay. She said, "We're coming. My grandfather's being buried," and I said, "Okay." It was just for the weekend, and so I'm asking questions, and so I felt a little leery. I would always say, "Go with your gut." Felt a little leery because some of the things wasn't adding up.
Hmm.
But I said, okay, I'll be there to greet you all, do a walkthrough in the house, and confirm everybody's ID. When they get there, everyone's nails are done. Like it just didn't look funeral, it looked more party. Like it's my
Party-ish,
birthday.
yeah.
I mean, the nails were flawless. They were long with pearls and diamonds. I'm like, doesn't really look like mourning, but who am I to judge, right? So definitely felt a way about it, but and I was right. So they had a party. My neighbors called. They smoked weed. I have a no smoking policy in my place. They burned a chair.
Mm.
They took a chair, but I have cameras on the outside
They
because you
took
can't
a
have
chair?
cameras in the inside. The good thing is I do have the insurance through Airbnb, but just going through that to get it.
Hmm.
So what I learned is whenever I feel funny about anything, I will require an extra down payment that's refundable as long as there are no issues. And so people who are willing to pay the fee, they can stay. If not, thank you. And I hope you find a place that can
That's suitable
accommodate
for
your
you.
needs.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Cool.